The NFL playoffs are here, and this matchup on Wild Card Weekend is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the 49ers and the Bears, coming up next.
Now, this great venue has hosted some memorable playoff games over the years, and these Bear fans are hoping to make some new memories today at Soldier Field in Chicago. Tonight, it's the second game here on this Wild Card Saturday, as it'll be the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Chicago Bears.
All right, party people, let's talk about the 49ers and the Chicago Bears. We're going to start with the 49ers side of the ball. 87 overall team, 91 on offense, 84 on defense. To finish the season, they were 7th in points, middle of the pack the rest of the way. 15th in pass yards, 13th in rush yards, 14th in points against, 19th in pass yards against, and 16th in rush yards against. Let's look at their stats real quick. They had a pretty decent season, did not win their division, unfortunately, but it is what it is. 4,300 yards passing, 25 passing touchdowns, and 12 interceptions for Brock Purdy. This is really acceptable, especially for a quarterback in Madden 25, where there was a lot of picks. He played great. I tried to model a lot of quarterbacks after him in the second half of the season, and it worked out okay. Christian McCaffrey, after missing 2 games, he went over 1,000 yards, had 9 rushing touchdowns. Brock Purdy had another 233 on the ground and 4 rushing touchdowns. Of course, George Kittle, tight ends get fed in Madden 25, had 106 receptions, 1,000 yards, 4 touchdowns. Ricky Pearsall went over 1,000 yards for 75 catches and 9 touchdowns. Brandon Ayuk was on fire, only 67 catches for 746 yards and 6 receiving touchdowns. And First and Juan Jennings, 65 catches, 676 receiving yards and 4 receiving touchdowns. Other than that, I mean, even McCaffrey only had 48 catches for 203 yards, which is, you would think, be a lot more, but it is what it is. They're in the Chicago offense, West Coast scheme, New York Jets defense, 4-3 under scheme. Let's talk about the Chicago Bears. All right, so the Chicago Bears finished 9-8, winning the NFC North. They went 7-2 down the stretch. They finished 86 overall, 88 on offense, 85 on defense. 15th in points, 19th in pass yards, 9th in rush yards. This is one of the big reasons why they won the division and finished so hot. DeAndre Swift really got hot in the second half of the season, carried them, did a huge game against my Eagles. So he was great. And they were 25th in points against, 32nd in pass yards against, and 13th in rush yards against. Not a good mix to go into the playoffs where the defense is bad, but it is what it is. Let's take a look at the stats. 4,100 yards. Very annoying for Madden 25, telling me I didn't meet the goal of crossing 4,000 yards passing, when indeed, Caleb Williams went over 4,000 yards passing, 27 touchdowns, 23 interceptions. There are worse quarterback touchdown to interception ratios in this game. Madden 25. Too many interceptions. Can't say it enough. But he was better than most quarterbacks. Rushing wise, you can see DeAndre Swift went over 1,000 yards, 6 rushing touchdowns. Caleb Williams did have 383 yards on the ground, 4 rushing touchdowns. Rome Odunze, really good year, 79 catches, 1,000 yards, and 10 touchdowns. That's some pretty big games down the stretch. Colson Loveland, he plays tight end number 1 and is in the slot in some formations, especially under center. 92 catches, 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. DJ Moore, 71 catches, 744 receiving yards, 2 receiving touchdowns. Cole Kmet, as you can see, 43 catches, 459 receiving yards, and 4 touchdowns. And Luther Burden plays slot in shotgun formations, 39 catches, 430 yards receiving, and 2 receiving touchdowns. And Swift did have 57 catches for only 336 yards. So there you go. That's how the team finished. Defensively, Trey Edmonds led the team with 186 tackles. TJ Edwards is right behind him. Tackles for loss. Montez Sweat, 24. TJ Edwards, 19. Jarrett, 19. These numbers are inflated along with sacks, but they only had 8.5 sacks from Grady Jarrett as their leading sack getter, and that's not good compared to a lot of other teams who have elite pass rushers, which they're going to probably face in this game. Did get a decent amount of interceptions, but compared to other teams, only 5 from your top guy. That's not good. So the Bears do have the home field advantage, but I am smelling an upset. Let me know, who do you think is going to win this one in Chicago? It's the 3rd game of the opening day of wild card round in Soldier Field. Let's get into it.
It's the second of our 2 games here on this Saturday as Super Wild Card Weekend continues here on EA Sports. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And leading them out, their signal caller, now in his 4th season in the NFL.
And he comes off of a really good regular 4,000 yards passing, and now in the playoffs, people always ask the question, do you continue to play the way you played in the regular season? Do you turn it loose, or do you tone it down a little bit? I think you've got to be smart, but make sure you show the defense something they haven't seen before.
The results on the first play from scrimmage, 2nd down. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. And he's going to have a Niners first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
Good running right there, and this is a man who was a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances, and he picks up nice yardage on that one.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. Down the left sideline, and he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. 54 yards rushing for him now as he has started this wild card round with a flourish. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Purdy now to throw. He's got this complete to Ayuk on the out route. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Shotgun now with Purdy. The throw out wide going to be incomplete. Brings up 4th down. Solid coverage by the Bears D.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
And his kick is indeed good. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. Not the touchdown they wanted, but hey, you're on the road in the playoffs. They did get 3 on the board.
Yeah, it's a good opening drive, so you feel good about it yourself. You get to the sidelines. The defense feels good about you helping them right out of the gate. The team, yeah, they feel pretty good about coming in the playoffs and getting points on the board right away.
So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
And as we continually grade players, especially quarterbacks, how about this young man? 2nd year in the NFL, guided his team into the playoffs, and now he wants to show the world that they should buy in on him because he wants to evolve from that young quarterback to that true team leader that takes his team deep in the playoffs.
And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33. Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And he'll push ahead for about 3 to the 36.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8. To throw, Williams. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
Yeah, it's still early in the game. No sense taking a chance on 3rd down and forcing one into traffic. So I like the wise play he made there. Get it to the sideline out of bounds where no one's going to have a chance at it.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. They bring the 5 seed into the playoffs. Of course, they're one of the wild card teams. And when you're a wild card team, it makes it a little bit tougher. You have to win the extra game. But there's been a precedent set of teams doing that successfully in the past.
And it's usually teams that have aspects that really jump out at you and are really factors in the playoffs. I mean, Pittsburgh, they rode a heavy run game with Jerome Bettis when they won in 2005. And then don't forget the Giants in 2007, that season. Pass rush. Remember how big that was for them during the playoffs. And for Green Bay, it was the quarterback play of Aaron Rodgers. So to me, it's a matter of what's going to affect the game in a big way. Can that aspect of your team really make those plays? A lot of times it's pass rush and quarterback play.
And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 77 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. A couple of first downs on the drive already as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. 7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Purdy looking to throw. This complete right side to the tight end Farrell. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. A handoff, McCaffrey running right. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Throwing here, Purdy. Throw out wide is incomplete. So 2 third down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down. So Purdy off and Moody on for the 49er field goal. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that will make it 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive.
And he'll manage to break a tackle and get this forward for a couple. It'll be 2nd down. (6-0) our score after 1. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession. 2nd down and 8. As they've got it as we resume action. Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. Here is 3rd and 5. To the air, Willams. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have the Bears 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Once again, it's Swift.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. The Bears on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Looking to throw is Willams.
Past the 20. Touchdown, Chicago.
Rome Odunze.
48 yards.
And the Bears are an extra point away now from moving out in front.
So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Well, San Francisco's offense returns to the field.
They've probably got some adjustments to make because they've moved the football okay at times, but they haven't been able to get anything consistently going, have they?
What you worry about is it almost turns into a basketball game. The one team's coming down and hitting threes, and you're coming back and getting twos, and you steadily lose ground. In this situation, you're talking about touchdowns to field goals. They want to put in the end zone and put those 6s on the board.
Yeah, they've been settling. That's why they're down on the scoreboard right now. Out of the pistol, McCaffrey. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Sliding out of the pocket, and he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down.
3rd down and 10. Here's Purdy. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 33. He had over 100 catches in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of this wild card game.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
McCaffrey running up the middle. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
2nd down and right back to McCaffrey. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support. And I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there.
A great job there by this defense. They give up the long drive, but in the end, it looks like they'll force a field goal attempt.
So Purdy off and Moody on for the 49er field goal. From the left hash, just a 32-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
To throw, it's Williams.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too.
Not too many teams will use a first-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the first round there. Nice little catch and run to get the good yardage. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10, right at the 40.
Throwing again here, Williams.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 more yards for him there. It's a first down.
And I feel a little bit like a traitor as a former defender because that big man did not want to go down and refused to go down. If you're a defender and you don't get the right angle on a big tight end like him, he can run right through you like you're not even there. And he did a lot of that on that play.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Here's Williams.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On play action, here's Williams.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab.
And the Bears will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
This is where, as a tight end, you've got to really sell that this is a run. They're going to fake the give, hope the linebackers bite, and here they do just enough. That split second, that's all it takes for that tight end to leak out into the end zone. Touchdown.
Santos with the extra point, and the lead is up to 5. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays, and the end result is a Bears touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Well, the Niners going back on offense now late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Now Purdy connects with Kittle underneath. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. And the 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Third and 12. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts. And they'll indeed stop him on third down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? On fourth down, the Niners trot out Mitch Wishnowsky to punt the football. That's taken on the 25. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. And got his man complete. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bears would extend their lead here just before halftime. Well, he didn't find the end zone a whole lot in his rookie campaign, but he's got himself a touchdown here in the playoffs.
And it shows off his big playability, too, because we saw this quite a bit in college, and it's certainly continued here at the next level. Another explosive play for a guy who's made them all season long.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And with only 9 seconds remaining, well, not much time, we'll see how they play this. That's caught by Ayuk on the slant.
And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2.
Final play of the half, Purdy.
And a little floater there is incomplete. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The second of our 2 games here on this Super Wildcard Saturday is at halftime. We'll get it back out to you guys in just a minute. But first, let's take a look ahead to Sunday's action in the NFC. A 3-6 battle that ought to be a good one, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Washington Commanders. In the first half, it was the man from USC, Caleb Williams, who put on a solid performance. He was slicing and dicing this defense and wound up with 3 touchdown passes in the first half. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. One of these 2 teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Bears offense and Caleb Williams set to go to work once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, it may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. Still going. DJ Moore. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. DJ Moore. 77 yards. And the Bears continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Well, look, this is a team, Charles. They faced adversity all year long. They had to fight and claw to win that division, but they're putting it all together here in the wild card game.
Feels like a statement, doesn't it? An absolute statement game, a message to the top seeds. Overlook us at your own peril. We're pretty darn good.
Santos with the extra point, and that will make this a 19-point game. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The 49ers offense and Christian McCaffrey ready to go once more. And he's had his fair share of troubles in this one, unfortunately. This defensive front has wreaked havoc throughout the contest, and he hasn't been able to create enough space to make something positive happen to this point. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Purdy will set up to throw it here. He's got his big tight end, Farrell, complete. So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Back to throw, Purdy. Robinson's got it. His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a 1st down.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. 106 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the wild card round. Play action, now Purdy. And this one is incomplete. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Bears offense ready to get going again. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going. And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Swift going to try up the middle.
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Throwing is Williams. And that's out to the flat for Swift.
Only able to gain a couple there, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Williams from the gun on 3rd down. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Still going inside the 20.
And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4.
Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Purdy.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
We hear them discuss red zone efficiency a lot, CD, and they almost gave that one up in the red zone. Luckily, they'll have another shot.
And you and I both know that every offensive coordinator, play caller in the league, they take particular delight in their red zone calls because those are the payoff ones. But you can't call a play if your team doesn't have the ball. Got to secure it.
Very fortunate to get another shot. Here's 2nd and goal.
This is McCaffrey on the give. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. Looking to throw.
Purdy.
And he's got McCaffrey open, complete.
A nice little juke.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Christian McCaffrey.
An 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the 49ers take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just hadn't been able to punch it in until that point.
Moody good with the extra point.
And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. The drive there only spanning 3 plays.
And it's finished off by a receiving touchdown from Christian McCaffrey. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Onto the field now come the Bears.
Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there.
Drake Jackson.
Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
How to approach this. 3rd down and 16 yards to go. From the gun, here's Williams.
Eluding the pressure right. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. The 49ers offense making its way back out there.
And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
Dio Odangbo. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Purdy now to throw.
Gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to bring up a fourth down. Here comes the 49ers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded just inside the 30. A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Bears take over. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the third.
They run out of the gun with Swift.
And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. To throw, Williams. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here. 1 quarter remains in this NFC wild card matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. They'll look to throw here on first down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down.
Williams going to look to throw again.
Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And he's down into the red zone at the 16 after a gain of 16. 1st and 10.
The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame him?
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 16 yards. A little deja vu from the previous play where they got 16. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
To the air, Williams.
And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. Another shot from the one on second and goal. Johnson is not going to get in here as they push him back to the 2-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
I thought they were onto something with their play call and kind of went in reverse a little bit. Threw it on first down, then ran it on second down. Not successful either way. What play call do they come up with here?
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Caleb Williams taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Bears have put this one to bed here in the fourth quarter. Well, I've heard you use the term put-away drive, and that right there seemed like the definition of a put-away drive.
Yeah, it certainly just pops right up out of the book, doesn't it? Because up 2 scores already, just wanted to possess the football, keep converting and picking up first downs. And if the drive ends in 3 points, that's terrific. If it ends in a touchdown, fantastic.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that will make this a 19-point game. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Well, now how about this return? And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far, and they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10. Forced out to his left, and he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple. Purdy looking to throw. That's to the sideline, and it's intercepted. Kyler Gordon picks it off, and the Bears are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. But here in the fourth quarter, defensively, you know that you're just going to blanket the field with defensive backs and say, okay, take your best shot, and that time it's intercepted.
And we've often seen teams go into the prevent early, way too early, and sometimes they get too soft in their coverages, but not in this case. They understood the situation and played it with the proper aggression.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's a handoff to Swift. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. A gain of just 1. The Bears on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Looking to throw is Williams. He'll get this off to Swift. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And at this point, maybe you say, you know, it was a good effort really just to make the playoffs. They couldn't win their division, but did earn a wild card berth. It does appear, however, that their season is just a few minutes away from ending in one-and-done fashion. Got a man, that's Ayuk. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped.
Ball start, offense.
Now the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Shotgun now with Purdy. Connects with Kittle underneath. So the completion gets him just a yard, and it's 2nd down. Throwing here, Purdy. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. The drive stays alive, a third down gain of 8.
It certainly appears that he's been able to get a read on how they've wanted to contain him in this game. He's seen some places where he can beat them in big spots, and right there, he slides in with ease for the first down.
Over the middle, complete. It's Robinson. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and it'll be second and a couple. Here's Purdy. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The Niners passing game in sync now. They've got another first down. Now Purdy. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Throwing on second and long. Purdy. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9. And they need 10 yards out of it on third. Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And the Niners are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got it second and goal as they look for a late touchdown. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And the Bears will take over here at their own 12-yard line.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
The Chicago offense set to get started. And you'd have to say they have done what they set out to do in this wild card round. It won't get easier from here, of course, but they'll certainly have some momentum built up for when they hit the road in the divisional round next weekend. They'll start on the ground with Swift.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down.
They'll stay on the ground with Swift.
And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. They'll give up the middle to Johnson.
That he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop them short of a first down.
Fielded at the 33. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They said beginning of the season they wanted to get past the wild card round. Well, they just got past the wild card round.
How about that, being able to put the big check marks up in the locker room, right? Get to the wild card game, check, got that done. Win a wild card game, big check. Now you've got to go ahead and set your sights higher. There is a bigger prize out there, and they still have an opportunity.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Bears get the win at home as we say so long from Soldier Field.